What's up, guys? Tim here. Thanks for checking out my Sports Focus. This time I'm bringing you guys another top prospects video. If you haven't already checked out my other top prospect videos, then go ahead and click that link in the description below. But this time I'm going to be coming at you guys with the Cincinnati Reds top prospects. The Cincinnati Reds farm system isn't what it once was. For the past 5 years, they've been towards the top of all farm systems in Major League Baseball, producing such players in the last 5 years such as Joey Votto, Jay Bruce, Johnny Cueto, Todd Frazier, Zach Cozart, Tony Cingrani. I'm probably leaving someone off that list, but as you can tell, they've produced great players out of their farm system, and naturally, after producing top-notch players like that, it has now fallen to a mediocre farm system now that they've kind of had to restart their system with all those guys being up in the big leagues now. My honorable mention, guys, is Michael Lorenzen. He's a young dual player. He, in college, played center field and only actually pitched 45 innings, but Cincinnati likes what his raw arm brings to the table as a relief pitcher and possibly a starter. But let's get right into his repertoire. He possesses a mid to upper 90s fastball that has been clocked all the way as high as 99 miles an hour. He's got a low to mid 80s slurve, more like a sweeping curveball, still relatively hard coming in, clocked all the way up in the mid-80s, and a below-average changeup that he doesn't like to use a whole lot. Now, with this said, the Reds would like to see him, and his ideal role is probably going to end up being in the back end of the bullpen, whether it be a setup to Aroldis Chapman or eventually even a closer's role. Now, they sent him to the Arizona Fall League this fall to get him extended innings on the mound and maybe see if he could develop into a starting pitcher. But again, guys, expect to see him probably more likely in the bullpen, maybe as soon as as you go to September and the rosters expand. Expect to see Michael Lorenzen in that Cincinnati Reds bullpen. Coming in at number 3, guys, is the 5'11", 190-pound outfielder, Phillip Ervin. His short, compact swing and his ability to consistently put the barrel on the ball pays dividends in the power game, where it wouldn't really suggest that his 5'11", 190-pound frame would be capable of producing much power against major league pitchers, but it does. Mark my words, this is a guy who has the potential to put anywhere from 15 to 25 home runs on the board, probably right in the middle there, though, right around 20. Also, he plays all right defense. He's not the best defender, he's not the worst. He has above average to plus speed, which plays well also on the base paths. This is a guy that's probably going to steal upwards of 20 to 25 bases as well. So he's going to give you about 20 home runs a season. He's going to give you about 20, 25 stolen bases a season. He's a thick guy, but he still produces pretty good speed. Can't judge this book by its cover. It's a guy who doesn't look like he's going to put up power numbers, but he will. Not a guy who looks like he's going to steal a lot of bases, but he will. He's kind of a unique player in his stature, and this is a guy who doesn't take the best routes to balls in the outfield for that reason, and for the reason that we'll probably see Billy Hamilton in center field. This is a guy who will play well in a corner outfield position. He has an above-average arm, not a plus arm, but an above-average arm, which allows him to play right or left field. Scouts like to see better arms in right field and weaker arms in left field, but this is a guy with Jay Bruce out there. We could probably see him in left or right field, but his ceiling when he develops and matures is probably a first not top tier, but a first division outfielder. Taking all of this into consideration, though, He does need more time to develop, and he'll get that time to develop as he'll start this season in single A, and he'll probably work his way up to double A Pensacola and maybe even triple A. For that reason, I don't see him making his big league debut and making an impact with the Cincinnati Reds probably until 2015, but this is again a guy who falls into the number 3 spot in the Cincinnati Reds farm system. He will be an impact player when he debuts. Coming in at number 2, guys, the ever exciting outfielder, 6'1", 160-pound Billy Hamilton. Now, Hamilton is one of the most exciting young prospects in baseball. Made his debut last season, 2013, as a late season call-up. Only got 19 at-bats, still qualifying him for this prospect list, and he comes in at number 2. Now, Billy Hamilton is fast. Now, just everyone knows that he stole over 100 bases in the minor leagues in one season. The guy is incredible, and scouts are saying and arguing that he might be faster than Rickey Henderson. He might be the fastest baseball player to have ever played in the big leagues. This guy is exciting to watch on the base paths. But the one question mark, and it is a pretty big question mark, which does make him a pretty high-risk player, is that he hasn't had all that much success at a high professional level getting on base. Billy Hamilton is not going to draw a whole lot of walks, which is kind of scary for a guy at the top of the lineup. You would like to see a guy who's able to get on base in a multitude of ways. Fortunately, he is going to rely on getting a lot of singles, whether it be laying down, bunt singles, slapping the ball around from both sides of the plate. When he gets on base, however, look for him to have potential to lead the league in steals. Again, that's a big question mark, though, because he has to be able to get on base first. This guy has a very low power rating on a scale from 20 to 80. Scouts are giving him a 30 max, so it's not a guy who's going to hit any home runs or do anything big, but the Reds are going to need to have him on base at the top of the lineup for them to be successful. All in all, I see Billy Hamilton somewhere, he's right on the brink of a second division center fielder and a first division center fielder. It's going to rely a lot on how he's able to develop in the big leagues, how fast he's able to make adjustments at the big league level. That's going to be the difference between him being a second division or a first division center fielder. Coming in at number 1, though, guys, my top Cincinnati Reds prospect, soon to be 21-year-old, right-handed starting pitcher, Robert Stephenson. Now, Stephenson is maybe one of the most underrated prospects in all of Major League Baseball, especially when you're talking about the pitching prospects. He came out of the 2011 class, which also produced studs such as Jose Fernandez, who pitched like an ace, who pitched as one of the best players, one of the best pitchers in baseball in the 2013 season. Dylan Bundy, who had Tommy John surgery not before making it to the big leagues in 2012. And also the Diamondbacks, Archie Bradley, who's not too far away from being in the big leagues himself. But let's start off with this guy's fastball. It comes in the mid-upper 90s. When he was first drafted, he was gunned at the low to mid-90s, anywhere from 91 to 95. Now this guy is minimum 94, 95, and he sometimes scrapes triple digits. Now, this isn't just a guy who's going to rear back and throw some flames. This guy is able to command his fastball to both sides of the plate. His big out pitch is a devastating curveball, which ranks at probably number 1 as the best curveball or the best breaking ball period in the Cincinnati Reds farm system. As he gets older, he continues to mature and is able to command it better throughout the strike zone, and this is a pitch that he's going to rely heavily on to get swings and misses at the big league level. Now, I've already mentioned his fastball and his lights out curveball, which both come in as plus pitches. Now, with those two pitches already in his arsenal, he'll probably spend a majority of his 2014 season developing his changeup, which right now receives an average grade by scouts. But as he develops it, this is a pitch that is being projected as even another above average pitch, maybe not a plus pitch, but definitely an above average pitch. And when it comes down to it, with a plus fastball scraping triple digits that he locates well, a devastating curveball, and he's continuing to work on his changeup, which will eventually be another above average pitch. This is a guy who has front of the end rotation stuff, possibly even an ace of the rotation type pitches, and a guy that could probably be called up as soon as opening day 2015. Don't expect to see him in 2014 unless it is in a injury role where someone in the rotation already gets injured and he comes up to replace them. They definitely don't want to rush him. You probably will not see him till 2015, but it could be on opening day, and it could be as the #1 pitcher. As always, guys, I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch my videos. This one especially is very exciting, as I'm really excited to see what happens with Stephenson and Billy Hamilton, two of the more exciting up-and-coming players in the NL Central. But go ahead and drop a like on this if you enjoyed it, and also feel free to subscribe to my channel. It's completely free, and you'll be getting a ton of baseball content as I continue my prospect series and move into my prediction videos. As always, guys, feel free to share this with your friends and family, and I'll see you guys next time.